Good morning, Hayom Yom, Lamed Sivan. So there is something called Shnayim Mikra Viechad Targum, and that is that every week we are meant to read the weekly Parsha twice in the original Hebrew and then once in the Aramaic translation. And in the Shulchan Aruch it brings two ways you could do this. Way number one is that you read every section of the Parsha, every Parsha of the Parsha. So you read each section in the Hebrew twice, and then once in the Aramaic. You do it section by section. And the second way is you do it verse by verse. You do one verse twice in the Hebrew and then in the Aramaic, and then move on to the next verse. And the Alter Rebbe writes in his Shulchan Aruch that the latter way is preferable, because we don't do it anymore, but back in the day when the Jews used to read the Torah on Shabbos in Shul, so they would actually translate it on the spot. As they were reading it, they would have someone translate it so everyone in the crowd could understand it. And then they would translate it verse by verse. So because of that, it's preferable that when we do Shnayim Mikra Viechad Targum, we should do it verse by verse, and therefore the Rebbe tells us that it is our custom to do it verse by verse. Then the Rebbe says that once you are done doing the entire Parsha, Shnayim Mikra Viechad Targum, you should also say the Haftorah for that week's Parsha. Now, in a week that there are two appropriate Haftorahs, it is either Shabbos Reish Chodesh or it's a double Parsha, and therefore there are two Haftorahs to be read here. So the Alter Rebbe says that since in Shul we only say one Haftorah, so also after Shnayim Mikra Viechad Targum you should also say one Haftorah. But the Rebbe tells us that it is our custom to say both of the appropriate and relevant Haftorahs. Then the Rebbe tells us that there was once a man named Ze'ev Dov who was a young Misnagdisha scholar, and he was absolutely brilliant, and he came to study Chassidus and to learn by the Chassidim. And although he was brilliant, he was very cold and arrogant. And after a while, he went into Yechidus with the Alter Rebbe, and the Alter Rebbe asked him, "Was fehlt dir?" which means, what are you lacking in life? Where is the room for growth? And Ze'ev Dov said to the Alter Rebbe that I don't see where I'm lacking in life or where there's room for growth, and honestly, I don't feel like there is room for growth. I don't feel like I'm lacking at all. And the Alter Rebbe told him that the physical and the spiritual, physicality and spirituality, are polar opposites. They're complete, total opposites. It's like a seesaw. And he said what's considered positive and exemplary in one is actually very negative in the other one. And he said in our physical lives, with regards to our money, our physical health, whatever it may be, so he said it is considered extremely positive, and a person's a really good person if they're content with what they have. If they're satisfied with what they have, they're satisfied with their lot, they're satiated with what they have. That is a very, very good thing. And he said if somebody would totally eradicate and eliminate greed from their life, greed from their heart, they would be an incredible person and they would achieve amazing heights in life. But he said with regards to our spiritual life, our spiritual well-being, our emotional and mental quality of life, he said there is exactly the opposite. One of the worst possible things, one of the most unhealthiest things for a person is to be smug, is to be content, is to be complacent. And he said when people become complacent in their spiritual lives, that causes them to fall and have terrible, terrible spiritual lows and to really fall down in life, and their life goes downhill. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.